Or Stat, you got anything for Mike?
Yeah, I do. Okay, so obviously your name carries a lot of weight, and I
think
feel
so?
like yes. So I feel like when people hear Mike Tyson, they're just like, okay, like he fights a lot of people. He's known for knocking people out. Do you feel like there's ever a time for fighters to show weakness, or do you feel like you have to hide that, or is that just something that you don't
What's your
feel?
perception of weakness?
Weakness is kind of being, how do I explain that? Like being vulnerable, really. Do you feel like you can never be that type?
Hey,
never?
I like to believe that I'm vulnerable every moment of my life. Walking the streets, I'm vulnerable. In here with your guys, I'm very vulnerable. You know, anything can come in. Yeah, I'm vulnerable. You know, we're all vulnerable. We can't help. We believe we're not vulnerable, but that's just a false sense of security.
Yeah.
We're all vulnerable.
Yeah. Great answer. Yeah, I wanted to ask because I just feel like the perception is just, you know, when people see you or hear you, they're just like, Mike Tyson. But I'm just like, how does that affect you, and how do you feel about that when you hear people say that?
What, Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
That's what I worked for. If they don't say it, I did something wrong.
Great answer. Okay. And then another question. So this is kind of like mixing fighting and football. So there's a situation with Tua. He's a Miami Dolphins quarterback.
Tell me this again. Who?
Tua,
Okay.
the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, right? He had a couple concussion injuries, and
Where's he from?
everybody's
New Zealand?
no, he's
Tonga?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so he had a couple like concussion incidents, and everybody's trying to tell him that he should stop playing. So my question for you is, in what case do you feel like it's necessary for an athlete to stop playing their sport? Because everybody else is trying to tell him how he should feel, but at the end of the day, that comes to him. So for you, when do you feel like you should let a sport go, or you feel like, basically, how do you feel about that?
Well, listen, let me explain this to you. There's some athletes you have to protect them from themselves because they would rather die than quit. So that answers the question.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Straightforward. Okay.
That's really good.
Yeah,
Mike, if you wasn't a boxer, what sport you think you'll play very well outside of boxing?
If I wasn't a boxer, I'd be a criminal.
Big
I don't like any other sports but fighting.
I'd be a criminal. I'm using that sound.
Okay, that's where I was going until
Yeah.
I got discovered in juvenile detention centers, and somebody taught me how to box. But that's where my life was going.
Wow.
All my friends, all these guys, Boy George and all those guys, I all met all these guys in Sparfit. All these guys, Blue Boy, all these killers, all these
Brought up
men, them
Boy
as children.
George, man. I forgot
Man, I'm-
about
I'm-
Boy George.
I met them all in Sparfit and upstate, being locked up upstate as kids.
That's what's up. Is there anybody that you fought that you was like, damn, I don't want to fight him? Or you felt bad after you beat anybody?
No.
Looked like you felt bad after you fucked Larry Holmes up.
No, because he did a good job on Muhammad Ali. That was the purpose.
That was your
It was
revenge?
October 2nd, 1980. Me and my mentor, Custom Model, we all went to see Ali fight Larry Holmes, and he knocked Ali out. And then we drove in the car. It was just dead quiet in the car. We drove, went to the house, went to bed. And then the next morning, Custom said, you have to avenge him.
That was the mission?
Yeah, that was the mission.
Wow. I didn't know that, man. Y'all got anything else for Mike?
Mike was menacing. Mike can knock you out and then want to
How many years later was that, though?
Excuse me?
How many years
It
later
was
was
80 and then 6 years later.
Yeah,
No, 8 years later. I'm sorry.
yeah, because I watched that fight too. That was pretty bad. I like Larry Holmes. He's a pretty boring
do too.
fighter. I like
I do too.
I liked him a lot. Do you think that they jerked him when he was 49-0 and he could have went for
Yes.
50-0? You think he
Yes.
got robbed of that?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. Y'all got anything else for Mike?
Yeah, I have one
go
more.
ahead.
I'm
Yeah.
just curious. What's a
Now, your motherfuckers brought me here for 10 minutes or something. Like, you got anything else for Mike?
You want to stay the whole show?
All right, go ahead.
Mike, you want to stay? Yo, Mike, you can stay the whole
Nah,
show.
I'm fucking with you. What you got?
Matter of fact, let Mike stay for everything.
Yeah, Mike.
Who else you got coming in
Mike
here?
gonna stay the whole
Nobody
show.
else.
Nobody.
You.
shit.
You.
Mike, who would win out of Shakur and Javante?
Yeah.
Devontae Davis?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good fight. I like to go with Tank because of the, everyone's going to go with Tank, but it would be a very interesting fight.
How could for us that are not boxing analysts, how could Shakur beat him? if he can't hurt him? That would be my question.
Listen, you don't have to hurt him. You just have to outscore him. You know, Shakur takes a good shot, though. You know, he's a specialist. That's why some fights that he doesn't look good in, because he's so superior. And it's boring watching sometimes. But he's a specialist. He knows what he's doing. He's hard to beat.
So when the speed picks up and the aggression starts,
To bring out the best in Shakur, you gotta pressure him like Tank. Tank will bring out the best of him, and we'll see a great fight. Tank is just a monster right now.
What do you think, talking about that, and just to jump off, because that was a great question, Mase. When you get critiqued, because Shakur is mad at us, because
he wants to fight.
He wants to fight both of us. Actually, he wants to fight Treasure too. I think he wants to fight the whole show, because we said that his last fight was boring, which a lot of people said. But I guess because who we are on our platform or whatever, he was really upset. Were you that type of fighter as well? If somebody critiqued the match about you, or somebody said you didn't look good, or somebody said
you're entitled to their opinion. Right. I may be a little shitty about it, but you're entitled to that opinion. I'm not going to kick your ass about it,
right,
or give you, fever about it. That's your opinion,
right?
Yeah, we weren't Larry Merchant about it. Larry Merchant make you want.
No, the whole thing about it is we just was reporting the fight. We said everything that everybody else said. I just think because it's me and you and me.
If you can't handle criticism, get out the game.
Right.
Get out you can't kick everybody's ass.
Right.
Too many people have their own opinion. You just have to accept it and go on.
Right. What do you think about Terrence Crawford calling out Canelo?
I don't like that fight.
Why not?
I don't like that fight. It's just too much weight, and he had a close fight with the last guy he fought, Terrence, because this guy was big and he was awkward. He was really awkward. He shouldn't have fought that guy. He should have fought a guy that just come straight at him. The guy was too awkward.
He's herky-jerky.
Pandora, one of them.
Yeah.
See, it's a missing art now in boxing, and it's matchmaking. They don't know how to make matches. A guy like Shakur, you need a guy that's going to attack him, constantly attack him. That brings out the best of him. He ain't going to be good with a guy that's going to just stand in front of him and just feint. He's not going to be his best. His best is when somebody's attacking him.
So when it comes to Canelo, what do you think makes him not fight Benavidez? Because that's the fight everybody really wants to see.
Well, I don't know. We need to bring him here and ask him that.
Yeah,
that's a big fight for him. He don't want to fight him. I don't know. We have to talk to Canelo about that.
And when does it become a duck, though? When does it become a duck?
Basically, he's saying when is it going to be like stop running from? It seems like you're running.
Well, it appears that way to everybody in the world that he's running from the guy. Well, he's not going to fight the guy. He doesn't want to fight the guy.
Right. Who's the pound for pound champ to you right now in boxing?
Wow. Benavidez, Tank. There's no one guy.
Okay.
Crawford. But there's an array of great fighters out here.
Right. Speaking of matchmaking, what is a good fight out there for Crawford right now? What's a good fight for him? Because I agree with you. When it comes to Canelo, and what you just said, I said, the last few fights, Terrence Crawford at 147 seems like if it's a close fight, he'll walk you down and could knock you out. The last guy at 154 was too herky-jerky and he's kind of too big. Obviously,
I want to see him fight on one of the Cholo brothers.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say.
Cholo brothers, the young brother from Philadelphia. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Ennis.
Yeah. Now.
Ennis.
Yeah.
Boots. They're the same weight. Even the Cholo brothers are a little heavier.
I want to see Ennis Boots fight one of the Cholo brothers, then come back down.
See, that's the thing that's what I was going to ask you.
See, that's the kind of stuff I used to do. Sugar Ray Leonard, those guys that go up and weight fight a guy and get the belt back and come back to welterweight used to show I could win
how
that
good
belt.
they are.
There's
right.
no ego in boxing now. They're just talking shit, but there's no real ego.
Right.
Ego is going after this motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, even when he's calling out Canelo, I was saying that to me it's a lose-lose for Canelo, because if you lose, you lost to somebody who's walks around lighter than you. Then if you win, you're going to say you were 20 pounds
Yeah,
bigger
weight
than the guy.
bully.
Yeah, weight-wise. So I'm like, what would be a great fight? But if you're saying one of the Charlo brothers, they're 160, 168 too. Do you think that's going to be a good fight for Terrence?
Yeah.
The smaller one. Pause.
Yeah. And what about Ennis?
Ennis should fight the 154-pound
You should
Cholo
fight,
and come back down.
Which one is that had the belts at 154? That was Jamel or Jamal?
I don't know these guys.
Yeah,
I know them, but I don't know which one
Yeah,
is which. They're twins.
The smaller one, pause, is the
Yeah.
better one.
Yeah.
I think him and Ennis would be a great fight.
What do you think about right now? Because we haven't really heard about him, or I'm not sure if he's about to fight or what's going on. After such a devastating loss to Terrence Crawford, what do you see for Errol Spence moving forward?
Sky's the limits, man. That don't mean nothing. A loss to somebody like that doesn't mean nothing.
Right.
Doesn't mean nothing. He can still make a lot of money. See, this is what fighters now, they lose a fight, they get discouraged and shit.
Right.
I might not do this no more. You know, that's what life's about. You don't get discouraged. Boxing, fighting, emulates life. In life, we're going to lose. Whatever. We'll lose our job, we'll lose our mother, lose our teeth, lose our hair. And we got to continue to live.
Right.
And continue to navigate.
Yeah, what made them put so much focus on one loss though? I don't remember boxing being like that.
Now that's they're not experienced fighters. They're not professionals. A professional fighter like this, if you're my friend, listen, like in the 30s, if you're my friend, you're the hottest fighter in the world right now, fight me, help me make some money for my family. These guys are too much ego. Yo, brother, help me make some money for my family. Spence and Crawford fought. Thank you, brother. Now they went to both their separate banks. They're happy. Don't get caught up. I got my ass kicked. Oh, God, the world saw me. Me and my man, we made some money. We're taking care of our family now.
Yeah.
We're doing better than we did before we had fights. I look at it as business. This is business. If you my friend, you really care about me, give me a fight, man. Help me out.
Right.
What you want, nigga? Everything, nigga, super size. Two Big Macs, like when they doing them 2 for $5.